Hey, this is BlindFox and welcome to my Ration review. Please support the channel, please subscribe and please go and donate on patreon.com. So today we are going to do the last video in our luxury meat menu from Boswa. So this is our main meal. So what we did is they suggest you do the bully beef for our main, but we sort of switched the bully beef with the pasta for lunch. For the noodles. So we had a bully beef for lunch, but if you, it's your ration. So we're going to do the noodles, the soup, the hot chocolate, and the little chocolate, which I've never had before. So this is beef, and we'll go and mix it and see how it tastes. Or before we go and mix it, the bully beef, I think, for South Africans, because we don't have a lot of variety, it's a good thing to have in a ration because it's basically solidly packed meat and fat. There's no water in there, so you get a lot of calories and stuff. I forgot to say that at the lunch portion. But anyway, we're going to do our little dinner, so see you just now. Well, you can see how squashed this is, but it's not, to me, a bad thing. Because it sort of absorbs water more easily if it's squashed in its little pieces. So because you have a spoon, it's easier to eat than in the long pieces it normally isn't. Alright, let's see. I just had my plate here just if I want to do something else just now. So let's start. We've got our chocolate, we've got our hot chocolate, we've got our soup, so we'll start there. Nice thick soup this. And I did add a cup of water here. You can see there, nice little thickish soup. It's not overly salty. It's just that normal beef taste that soups normally get. So I've added with this noodles, I've tried not to add too much water so that I don't have to throw away any water. So we'll taste this now, and besides you can have a little soup then. Nice. It hasn't even been 5 minutes since I made this, and it's already nice and soft. But just say you want a bit of noodle soup. You'll not use all of the soup. There we go, we've got some beef noodle soup. I won't use all of the soup in here, but what happens is you've got two different beef flavors. The soup is not very salty. Sometimes it's a bit salty, the noodles, but if you mix them both, you get sort of a different little nice beef flavor. So it's actually a good little combination, this noodles and the soup, because it thins the soup a bit. It's quite a thick soup, especially if there's still water in there. So it's quite a good little combination. And of course, if you forage some stuff throughout the day, you can always or whenever you have your noodles and your soup, you can just also mix your noodles and soup and then just mix everything else in there, so you get a nice hearty meal. So let's move that to the side now. So let's taste this. The hot chocolate is nice and sweet, but it does not take a whole cup of water. I will say very sparingly. Don't go over a 180 ml or something like that. Sort of 2 little tastes while you are mixing this, or else you will put too much water in. So far my dinner is quite nice. So let's check out our chocolate. I hope it is not melted too much. So here we go, the chocolate. This is how it looks inside. I've never had this before. Alright, this shock bar is a chocolate coated hazelnut flavor, or cocoa coated hazelnut. And I haven't read this before, but you can definitely taste the nuttiness. You can even chuck your chocolate in here for a bit of extra chocolatiness, but I'm not going to because I've never had this bar before. Interesting. So what do I think about my little dinner? The soup is nice. It's a nice thick soup. You can mix it with your noodles, then you get sort of a different tasting beef noodle. The noodles, because they are so finely crushed, it does make it easier to eat, and it rehydrates quite easily. The soup isn't as salty as some of the soups that I've tasted. I did use 250 ml of water here though. Here I just sort of put in water until I just don't cover the top of the, or just cover the top of the noodles. They just taste like ordinary beef noodles. Your hot chocolate, don't put in too much water. You can. Luckily I didn't. I sort of remembered some of the other hot chocolate I think I've had, and you must, for these you have to put in a bit less, but it's still a nice hot chocolate. And then you've got your shock bar, which you can, with the hazelnut flavor, and you do taste that nutty flavor. You can of course chuck it in here as well, and then you will have a stronger cup of hot chocolate, but I'm not going to do that. This is sort of a chocolate, sort of a I can't remember what you call that, sort of a ganache inside thing, but it's quite nice. I've never had the chocolate before, but it's a nice little chocolate. So this was my main meal portion of the meal for the day of the Boswa deluxe meat menu, and as I said, this menu sadly has been discontinued. So what do I think about this menu overall? Now I like the it's an interesting little menu. The biltong is a nice thing to add because you can use it throughout your day. You can put it in various things. You can eat it on your provitas. It's just a nice thing to have, and it's got a nice taste. I'm not sure if it's beef or not, but they used a nice recipe, and it's not too big, too large, a lot of pieces, so it will take you quite a while it'll last you a while. The oats was nice because it was chocolate. It's sweet enough, you don't have to add sugar. The coffee is very sweet. The tea is just normal rooibos. You get 2 sugar sachets which you can add to your tea or wherever you want to. The bully beef, for me, although it is a boring thing and I'm not a fan of bully beef, it does have quite a lot of calories in there. I think it's almost 600 calories in that tin, and it goes well with the provitas. You can also use it, I think, in other dishes. If you have got more than, if you forage and stuff, you can use it as a meat product there. The bouillon cube that they added, it's also a nice touch because besides from drinking it, you can also add it into food you foraged and make a soup or a flavoring or something with that. The isotonic drink is for me strong enough for half a liter of water. You might be able, if you like it stronger, use less. If you want it weaker, use more. It does give a nice flavor into water. You don't have to make it full strength. In fact, I've actually used game. I think that's game, but I've actually used game in the past when I was in places where the water isn't nice. You just need that. You just need enough just to give it a slight, just to get rid of whatever the natural water flavor is. Especially in the drier parts of the country, our water is quite minerally. Is it minerally? Yes, minerally. And it's not a nice taste. So what else is there what we had? The provitas is nice. It's a bit of fiber in your diet. And you can of course use it in various ways. Put it in your soup. I don't know what you will do with noodles. Eat it with your biltong. Eat it with your bully beef, of course. The noodles, it's a quick way it rehydrates quite quickly. You can make it into a soup because it's such fine, but sort of crushed so finely. People might think it's not a good thing, but in fact it is, because it's much easier to eat small crushed noodles with a spoon than it is to eat long noodles with a spoon. The soup is not as salty as some of these packet soups that I've had in the past. But it does have a nice flavor, and you can of course put it with your noodles, and then the flavor of course change a bit because you've got your noodles beef spice already. And then you've got your hot chocolate, which is a nice little hot chocolate. You just must not add too much water, and you've got your chocolate. So here you can actually do this, you can eat this for your dinner, and then later at night you can boil yourself some more hot water if you've got the facility or can do it. Make a little fire, boil some hot water, and have that, especially let's say in the winter or in the middle of the night if you have to stay awake for some other reason. So this was my review, and it was really a nice menu. It's a shame they discontinued it, but hey, at least I got to try it. I wanted to try it, but I just had other things to order before that, and then luckily I've just made the cut-off time. I literally, when I ordered it, the next week they removed it from their website. So I'm so lucky. They literally packed this one for me specially because it wasn't removed from their website yet. So thanks Boswa for giving me the opportunity to taste this interesting little menu. This doesn't differ a lot from one of the previous meat menus I think we had. Tasted last. What does it? Oh no, it didn't have bully beef. I can't remember now if it does, but the biltong is really a good. It's basically the thing that makes it deluxe because it's expensive. So yeah, that was my little review. So thanks for watching. Please support the channel, please subscribe, please go and donate on patreon.com, and see you at my next ration review.